this training is really going to take everybody's business to the next level. And a lot of this stuff, you know, right now we're going to be talking about director, right? And I know some of you are like, well, I really want to get to manager first, Tim. Well, the reality is that this stuff can be applied anywhere, but you got to start with the end in mind. That's the reality, right? You got to start with the end in mind. And you got to be thinking about where you want to go and what you want to have and what you want to do, right? You don't want to be just thinking about, okay, I want to get to manager, I want to get to team leader, I want to get to, I want to get to senior manager. You got to think high to rise. You got to think, about the bigger picture. So today I'm going to give you the game plan. You guys all know that we've got, I don't even know now. It's like, I think it's like 47 people or maybe 50 people that we've helped get to director or higher in the organization. So, you know, this stuff that I'm going to be teaching you it's absolutely 100%, right? It's stuff that works and it's stuff that always works and it'll work for you too. So I want to just jump into it. I don't want to dance around too much today, but today, today's training is going to be called the four to becoming a director. And I know some of you are already directors. So you take this information and you focus it in on becoming a senior director. But I'm going to give you the roadmap today on how to create so many directors. We want to become an organization, a director factory. We talk about it all the time. The name of our organization is Team 1%. And what does that mean? It's about getting everybody into that top 1% of income earners in the world that want to. I know some of you right now, you're like, man, I just want to make an extra 500 a month. Well, then that's great. Take what I'm sharing today and then just, bite size it for you, right? I mean, you don't have to, I'm going to give you the full buffet, but it doesn't mean you have to eat all the food, right? If you come in with you're really hungry and you want to, man, go ahead and feel free to take all that you want, right? So today, these are the four things that I'm going to be talking about today, the four secrets. Number one is the director mindset. 90% of our business or even more is your mindset. It's your attitude. It's the vision that you have for yourself, right? You're going to operate out of the confines of what you visualize yourself as. If you see yourself as a director, you're going to become a director. If you see yourself as somebody that this is business, you're going to struggle, then you're going to struggle. Whatever's a reality for you, whatever you believe is going to become a reality for you. So if you think this business is easy, then the business will be easy. If you think the business is difficult, it'll be difficult. If you think that everybody you talk to is fired up and excited, that's what's going to happen. If everybody you talk to gets started and becomes successful, that's what's going to happen. And I'm going to talk about it. And I know some of you are like, it's not that easy, Tim, of just thinking about it, but that's the starting point. It'll never happen if you don't think about it, right? It'll never happen if you don't obsess over it. And we'll talk about that today and break that down. And then obviously director qualifications, you got to know how to qualify for director. That's easy. And then obviously the strategy. I'm going to give you a strategy to become a director, okay? How to become a director, how you can get your team to director, okay? And then obviously we're going to be talking about the habits. Habits are so valuable, right? Habits are probably, to me, the most important thing, right? In everything that we do is how you operate. And we're going to be talking about that today. So today, with that being said, we're going to go and dive into it. Okay. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the director mindset. What's that mindset look like? And you kind of look at it, right? When I'm putting a training like this together, I just sit there and I think about it. What is the mindset that makes it happen, right? What is the one common denominator that everybody that's making it happen in Riman, what are those common denominators that they share? And then you take a look at people whose business is absolutely growing and you go, what's their mindset like? And then you think back to somebody whose business was growing and maybe leveled off. What was their mindset like during the time it was growing? And what's their mindset like now? And you analyze it and you look at it and you find out that you can actually adopt the right attitude and you can adopt the right mindset. And I went and spelled mindset wrong there on that one, just to let you guys know. Some people think I can spell stuff wrong on purpose. I don't. Okay, I catch it though. So this one's spelled right here, mindset. So here's something that Jay Shetty said. He's like a podcaster or one of those types of guys. He's an author as well. But he says the 6 inches between your left and right ear is the most valuable real estate that you own. You got to realize that the 6 inches between your left and right ear, what are you dwelling upon, right? What are you focusing in on? Whatever you focus in on expands. That's why you got to be careful who you listen to. My mentor said, Don't let people go to the bathroom in your head, right? You don't want to let people do that. So here's what I'm going to tell you is I use visualization, right? Because what you want to do is you want to operate with absolute certainty, right? You want to operate with absolute confidence. You want to operate with basically visualizing the outcome before it becomes a reality. Whenever I reach out to somebody to recruit them into Riman, I'm visualizing them already becoming a director. When I reach out to somebody about Riman, I visualize them being fired up and excited, right? You got to, if you're like visualizing the results, that's what's going to happen. So, how do I use visualization? Number one is you got to visualize yourself becoming a director, right? When you become a director or you become a senior director, because I know we got directors on the call, but I visualize myself, when we got started, it was like I visualized it happening. Like it was a done deal. Like there was non-debate. You got to be thinking about the clothes you're going to be wearing, right? That, how you're going to be dressed, the song that's going to be being played as you walk up to get promoted as a director. If at the convention, you got to visualize what your testimonial looks like. You have to have absolute certainty. First thing you've got to do is you got to convince yourself that it's going to happen for you. If you don't convince yourself, you're going to have trouble convincing others. Like people won't believe in you if you don't believe in yourself, right? And you've got to first convince yourself that you're going director. You got to be able to believe in your mind's eye without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that you're going to make it happen. When you have that type of belief system and you've convinced yourself that it's going to become a reality, then other people are going to, the things that you need to have happen are going to show up. It's kind of like this. This is the way I look at it, right? Is you don't have to know how it's going to happen, right? You just got to know that it's going to happen. And when you know that it's going to happen and you have absolute certainty, the right things are going to show up. The right people are going to show up. And then what happens is when you want something so bad and you visualize it and you know what's going to happen. Now what's going to happen is I call them, like basically God's going to send messages to you. Ideas are going to come up in your head. Oh, I should call this person. I should do this. I should do that. To me, it's like whenever those things happen, that's God trying to direct you to navigate you, right? So you got to realize once you visualize it in your mind's eye that, hey, I am becoming a director, absolute certain I'm going to become a director. I know without a shadow of a doubt, my mind, I'm going to become a director. What's going to happen is then ideas are going to pop up in your head. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Because your subconscious mind knows how you should be operating. And your conscious mind is saying, hey, we're going to make this happen. So your subconscious mind is going to go to work to make it happen, right? You got a captain and a crew. You guys, I'm going to do mindset training next week, so I'm not going to get too into it. Next Friday, tune in. I'm going to give you guys more mindset training. But so when I recruit somebody, I already visualize them becoming successful, right? Whenever somebody new gets started on my team, I visualize them making it happen. I visualize them becoming a success. So you've got to see it for your people. See, if you see somebody as they are, they'll become worse. But if you see somebody for what they could be, they'll become what they should be. You guys see how that works? And when you visualize somebody for what they could be, guess what? They'll become what they should be. But if you visualize as somebody as they are, you make them worse. If you treat somebody as they are, you make them worse. But if you treat them for what they could be, they'll become what they should be. Okay, and don't think I made that up. That's Johann von Gertner. So if you hear me say something smart, you go like, dang, Tim got that's fire. I don't have any fire, okay? I just borrow fire from everybody else. So that's von Gertner who said that. I just grabbed it. So here's what I'm going to tell you. This right here, I want to share with you this. This helped me out so much. You've got to visualize your new planners becoming a team leader, right? You've got to visualize everybody that we've recruited into Riman has became a team leader or higher. There's only one person that I didn't. And I'm on him all the time. I'm like, bro, dude, I got recruited you into Riman, dude, and you're the only guy that didn't blow up, man. You got to, because he never really engaged with it. He signed up, took a spot, and then never did anything. So I'm still on him. So I'm batting 100%, bro, besides you. So you got to realize you have to visualize people becoming successful. You have to visualize your team becoming a team leader and see it. See it in your mind's eye, right? And then obviously we all know you got to live your life. So I live my life with expectancy, right? I expect to win, right? I plan to win. I prepare to win. I plan to win, and I expect to win. But in order to be the winner that we're born to be, we've got to get after it, right? We got to take massive action. But you know how to do it, right? I'm telling you right now, somebody like brand new, you're going to do this and you're going to be successful, right? When you start making your list, you've already taken probably the biggest step to becoming a success in Riman. Okay. And I'm prescribing a director. And somebody on this call right now is going to become a director. And they're going to look back at this training and be like, man, that training was it. Like I was brand new, Tim. I just gotten started, been on a couple of Zooms. I didn't really know what I was doing. Jumped on a call. You're over here prescribing how to become a director. And after that call, I made up my mind that I was going to become a director. And sure enough, Tim, I was able to become director. Okay. And it's going to happen. Okay. So let me share with you. In order to make it happen, when you look at your attitude, I'm going to be doing an entire mindset training next week. Okay. You'll love this training. Okay. Next Friday's training is going to be all about mindset. But you got to ask yourself, are you a good finder or a fault finder? Right? Some people look at fault like there's a reward for it. So when you see 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 + 2 is 4 and 3 + 3 is 6 and 4 + 4 is 7 and 5 + 5 is 10, what do you see? The natural thing that we see is that 4 + 4 is 8, not 7. So what most people do is they look for what's wrong with stuff. When it comes to becoming successful and wealthy, you've got to look for what's right with stuff. When you're developing people, you've got to look for what's right with them. This is the biggest thing in the world, okay? That you need to know about developing people. You have to focus on what you like. When you start recruiting people and building a team, you have to visualize what you like about your people, what you love about the people that you work with. If you focus on what you like, that'll expand. But if you focus on people's weaknesses, it expands. Your mind is very powerful. So you've got to focus on the good, what you're excited about. Focus on what you love the most about Riman when you're sharing Riman, when you're sharing the products, what do you love the most? But more importantly, when you're developing leaders, you have to look for what? What I do is I just look for the good in them, right? I see them for what they could be, right? I visualize them becoming successful. I'm like, man, I love this about this person. I love this about person. I love this about this person. And when you fall in love with your team, you understand you're going to be able to get the best out of them, right? But it's kind of like it's like a cow. I know that somebody's going, it's like a cow? The heck are you talking about, Tim? Here's what I'm not saying your people are like cows, but here's what I'll tell you about a farmer. If a farmer has a cow and he names his cow, it'll produce more milk. If a farmer has a cow and he yells at his cow and beats his cow up, the cow will produce less milk, but the milk that it produces will not be fit for human consumption. So you got to realize that you got to look at people, right? And you got to see the best in them. You know, Dale Carnegie in his book, 21 Years, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he says, give a dog a good name. People will rise to high expectations. Nobody in the world has ever risen to low expectations. You understand? You got to expect the most. You got to see the thing that I have, the advantage I have over many of you is that I was the worst in this business. When I got started, I was 17 years old. Okay. And for the first 6 months, I made $12.63. And then the next 6 months, I made $147,000. So I went through a radical change very quickly in one moment. I talked about it at the conference in the pod that we did with the leaders, but it was a split decision. And I'm telling you this because of what? I know that if I can do it, anybody can do it. I know that if I can become a success, anybody can become a success. So what happens to people is once they start succeeding, sometimes their ego gets too big. They don't remain humble, right? And when you remain humble, you realize that anybody else can do it too. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter, how tall you are, how short you are. You're the perfect person. Right? It doesn't matter how pretty you are, or look at me. I'm an ugly dude selling beauty products, right? It doesn't matter what you look like. You don't have to be beautiful. You don't have to be amazing. You don't have to have this amazing skill set. What you have to do is you have to have it in your heart that you're going to win. You have to have it in your head that you're going to win. You have to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. There's been 10 billion people, there's been 5 billion for sure. I don't know. I didn't count, but there's been over 5 billion people for sure to walk this planet, but there's only been one you. There's only been one you. You guys understand that over 5 billion people have walked this planet. You are unique. You're special. You've got what it takes. So you got to buy into that. You have to know that that's a reality. That's how you got to have that mindset to director. Here's what I liked. My mentor taught me this at a very early on in my career. I love it. Your head is like a river, right? A flowing river has trash in it. Okay. You just can't see it. But once that river stops flowing and it stops moving, all the trash that's in it comes to the surface. It's the same thing with your attitude. It's the same thing with your mindset. You know what I mean? Somebody's like, what about this? What about that? You know, do you have any challenges or problems? Probably, but I'm way too busy making things happen to even worry about it. So I don't dwell on things. I focus on what is going right. And I don't remember what's wrong. Like people are like, has anybody ever said no to you? No, they haven't that I can remember. Do you see that? Meaning what? Meaning I don't remember when somebody says no. I'm forgetful, right? Like some people are like, man, you know, I've got this, I hear people say PTSD and this, I've got these problems, these challenges, and this happened to me, and this happened to me, and this happened to me. I'm like, dude, how do you have such a good memory? I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, let alone some trauma. I'm way too busy making things happen. You understand? Like, what I'm telling you is that everybody has challenges, but if you're running and you're running for rank and you're making it happen, guess what? Those problems will be there for you all the time, but you don't even see them because you're too busy becoming successful. Okay? You got to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that you can make it happen. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that you can do it, and then you got to get busy. It's kind of like, it's like one of my favorite books, Think and Grow Rich. Okay? Directors got to become an all-consuming obsession, right? One of my favorite books of all time is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Some of that book is a little bit strange, but I love that book, right? That book probably helped me out more than anything else that I've ever read. And my wife and I, we had it on audio. We listened to it on audio for over 8 straight years while we slept. This audio book of Think and Grow Rich. I got to the point where I memorized it. Like you could just start reading a part and I'm like, boom, I know exactly where that is in the book. And I tell you this, not to brag that I dive into audios and I really like to learn. But what I want to tell you that Napoleon Hill says in this book is he says, what a different story people would have to tell if they only would adopt a definite purpose, okay, and stand by that purpose until it had time to become an all-consuming obsession. That's powerful. You got to realize it's got to become an all-consuming obsession. Winning, becoming a success. And when I tell you this, people think, well, I don't want this to affect other things. Everything affects everything for the positive because one discipline leads to another discipline. One neglect leads to another neglect. Like one of the coolest things that happened to me, my daughter, my oldest 2 kids have seen me work. Okay. My 19-year-old and my 10-year-old never seen me work. Okay. Meaning that when my 19-year-old was 6, I wasn't working anymore, right? We had built up a big residual income in the last thing that we built, the last company that we built. Our income was through the roof and we had maxed out as much money as we could make from that compensation plan. So I didn't work for 11 years, right? And so my 19-year-old really never seen me really work. My 10-year-old had no idea what I did. He just thought that I would just, hung out and was just his dad. But when we started Riman again, my daughter came to me and she said, you know what I'm excited about, Dad? And I said, what? She said, I'm excited that Timmy, my 19-year-old, and Tyson, my 10-year-old, she goes, I'm so excited that Timmy and Tyson get to see the best version of you. That stung me because when I'm in the zone, everything I'm doing is on point. Like what I'm telling you is that let the disciplines affect everything else. When I'm doing the best that I can in business, I'm doing the best that I can as a husband. I'm doing the best that I can as a father. I'm doing the best that I can as a member of the community. Everything that I do. So even though, Riman to me is a burning obsession, I absolutely love it, right? I'm excited to build this company to $10 billion a year. That gets me so fired up. I'm passionate about that. But guess what? I'm passionate about all areas of my life because one discipline affects the rest. But also remember, one neglect affects the rest. So you either go for the discipline or you go for the neglect. Go for the discipline and you're going to be the best you can in all areas of your life. So it has to become an all-consuming obsession. But when it's an all-consuming obsession, it's everything that you do in life that you touch turns to gold. It's the Midas touch. King Midas, the dude's turning everything to gold. So here's what's going on. Right, let's talk a little bit about it. I'm going to talk a little bit about it later, but about focusing in on director. But your new people are either resting, they're crawling, they're walking, or they're running for the next rank. And they're either sleeping, you know what I mean, chilling out, crawling, walking, or running, depending on you, if you're running. So what I realize is I like to set the pace, right? I like to set the tone. I like to run, okay? I like to run and run and run and run because I want to show people how to become wealthy with this opportunity. It's a lot easier to show you than it is to tell you, right? It's my attitude is listen to me carefully, but watch me even closer. It's the work ethic that I got because I love what I do. I love sharing Riman's product with people because I know that I got the best product on the planet. I know that. Like, I know that my skincare is the best. I know my opportunity is the best. I know that Riman is going to become a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, I know that. So what do? I want to share it with everybody. I feel obligated. I feel a sense of responsibility to let everybody that I know participate in a better quality of lifestyle with me. So I'm running. I didn't get off a call last night, and I hope Rodrigo's on this dang call. Freaking, he set that thing up for me. I was on a call till about 1:30 in the morning with somebody in Dubai, a leader that is looking at our company. And it was like the longest call of all time in the history because I just got back from the university and it went from 10:30 to like 1:30. It was an incredibly long call, but it was wild because there was like missiles that you can see missiles and stuff going on. It was like the craziest stuff in the world, that call. But I tell you guys that because I like to set the pace. Right. And I do it and I work so hard because I love people and I don't want people to miss out. And I care about you and I want to show you how to do it. I want to show you how to make it happen by teaching you how to do it, by showing you how to do it. Right. So if you're just running and you're running and running and running and running, your people are going to be running and running and running and running as long as you focus in on making sure that they become successful. So number 2, qualifications. This will be a little bit easier and I'm going to start going through this information faster. Okay, here's how it works. You need 3 separate legs of team leaders and 600,000 in a total SP, right, within your entire organization within a 6-month period. No more than 300,000 can come from one line. So I just showed you right here. For you to be a director, I just showed 3. You always want to build 10, okay? But 3 legs here, and I showed you they don't have to be personally sponsored, right? It could be just 3 lines of team leaders and a total of 600,000 in SP. Now, this usually for people, the structure is the easiest, right? The structure is the easiest and the volume is the hardest, okay? Sometimes for the super sellers, I've got some super sellers that are like, you guys all know who the super sellers are. You see them on the top of the customers all the time. They have more volume. The volume isn't a problem. It's developing the leadership, right? So, but that's very few and far between. The majority of people, the structure is very easy. The volume is the thing that comes second. So I'm going to show you what you want to do. So you're looking for 600,000 in total group volume over a 6-month period. Okay. So you want to be averaging about 100,000 a month, right? And no more than 300,000 can come from one line. So let's break this thing down. Okay. The goal is to have 10 legs of team leaders. This is how we were able to hit the top of the company very fast, is we started with 10 lines of business. Okay. If I have 3 lines of business and I need 3 team leaders, guess what's going to happen? And I'm only building 3 legs. Those 3 legs know that I need them. So if they feel like I need them, I'm going to have trouble leading them. But if you have 10 legs running, 10 legs rocking and rolling, what happens is everybody has a fear loss, right? They're fear loss because they know you're going to the top. So when you're a director, if you've got 10 lines of team leaders, now you're not going to have 10 lines of team leader and hit director. You're going to hit director before that. But once you become a director, you still want to be building for your 10 legs of team leaders. Because if you have 10 legs of team leaders, going senior and going national is easy. Like Chris and I, when we became a director, our first month of volume was 1.3 million open line volume. Now, anybody that's a director on the call knows that's out of this world, okay? That's out of this world. But we did 1.3 million the first month because we had a lot of people under us running for director. You guys see how it works? So if I want to be a team leader and be a top producing team leader, if I've got a bunch of people under me running for team leader, and I was talking to Fernando and Danny. You guys know they've been like for the last like 3 or 4 months, they've been the number one team leaders out of Mexico. And Danny and Fernando, the thing about it is they just created like 3 or 4 team leaders last month. I think 4 team leaders last month. So as a result of that, that's how they've been having so much volume and so much production. If you got people under you running for rank, your volume is going to go through the roof. So you always want to have legs running. You want to always have people running for rank. That's how you're always going to be doing massive production. But if you're a three-legged horse or a two-legged horse, it's going to be a struggle for you. So how do you get 10 people started? You just go talk to 10 people and get them started. It's literally that easy, right? It's like, but if your goal is to sign up 2 people, you're going to have trouble signing up 10. So if you shoot for 10, you might get 8. But it doesn't matter. Keep going 9, 10. You're going to be able to do it. So you only need 3, but you want to build 10. You only need 3, but never make your minimums your maximums. Okay. So let's talk about the director strategy. Okay. This is so good right here. I'm so excited about this. How do you develop team leaders? Because as a director, or if you're going to go director, you've got to learn how to develop team leaders. What I do and how I develop, we've got, I think like we probably created over 700 team leaders, right, in the organization. So how we've done it and we created so many team leaders is what I did at the very beginning and what Chris did and we taught our leaders to do is you want to get people building at least 5 senior managers. Okay. Now, how many senior managers do you need in legs to become a team leader? 3. But if you've got 5, you're going to be able to do the 50,000 in SP. So what you want to do is if I sign you up, right, and you just got started, I've got to get you to team leader. So we've got to make sure that we get you obviously to senior manager ASAP. Create your success story, right? Within a week, 2 weeks, whatever. We're running and gunning, we're making it happen. We get you to senior manager. Now you got your story created. Now you're just going to be telling that story forever. And then what we want to do is we want to get at least 5 people on your team running for senior manager. Because what happens is once we get 5 people to senior manager, there's something called safety in numbers and law of averages. The law of averages tells us the average senior manager is going to bring in at least 10,000 in volume. Okay. So if I've got 5 senior managers and the average senior manager brings in 10,000 in volume, that's how I'm going to get the 5. That's how I'm going to get the 50,000 in SP to become a what? Team leader. Now, here's what you want to realize. You want to make sure you build a relationship with these 5 people, right? You want to build a relationship and inject confidence into them. Okay. I'm injecting confidence and know the progress of your 5 people, where they are that we're building to senior manager. Because if you're building 10 lines, right? And I know some of you are like building, maybe you're only building 5 lines right now, but if you're building 5 lines to team leader, you want to know who their 5 people are that's going to get them to team leader, right? And then once those people become team leader, we got to start making sure that we have other people running for rank. Everybody's always got to be running for rank in your organization. This is how you create massive momentum. Okay, you're nobody's crawling, nobody's walking, nobody's laying down. Everybody's running for rank. And it's you got to be the pace setter. So like give an example, how do you get your team leaders to do more production? So like the faster somebody becomes a team leader, okay, the more volume they're going to produce once they become a team leader. Let me give you an example. If somebody becomes a team leader in 2 months, that's 25,000. They're averaging 25,000 a month, right? So they did 50,000 in volume in a 2-month period. So they're already averaging 25,000 a month. So when they hit, they're probably going to be doing 25,000 or more in volume right out the gates. But if it takes somebody 5 months to hit a team leader, or maybe it takes them 2 years, doesn't matter, whatever. But if it's 5 months to longer, but even though it takes them 2 years, it only takes 5 months, right? It's going to take 5 months to do it. If somebody's averaging 10,000 a month for a 5-month period, guess what? They're averaging 10,000 a month in volume. So that team leader is going to be somebody that's going to be basically somebody that's just going to be hitting their maintenance. So how do you get people doing massive amounts of volume? How you have a team. If I'm a team leader, when we hit team leader, I think our first month in volume, we did like, I don't know, probably, let me think about it. We probably did 300,000 in volume, right? How we had that is we had so many people running for team leader under us. If you got people under you running for the rank and they're doing massive volume, it's going to push your numbers through the roof, right? And it's going to push your check through the roof. So realize if the faster you do it, the more volume the faster they do it, the more volume they're going to have whenever they hit the rank. And the other way to get your team leaders producing more is understand that every 10,000 in open line volume equates to more travel points. So if somebody does 10,000, they get 40 travel points. If they do 50,000 in volume, what? Why did I put 50,000? Oh, because it's because oh my God, that's 200 travel points. Okay. So if somebody does 50,000 in volume, that's 200 travel points. Because every 10,000 a team leader does, they're going to be doing what? They're getting more travel points. So when you got team leaders at the end of the month that are maybe they're at like 38,000, you got to be like, yo, we got to get that other 2,000 in right now. You know what I mean? Because it's going to give you an extra 40 travel points. And the biggest thing you got to be aware of is destination disease. If you're taking notes, destination disease. That's when somebody hits a rank and they're like, oh, I made it. And they lose that. They change their passion for glory, right? You got to always be hungry. You got to, here's what my mentor taught me. Tim, if you're hard on yourself, life will be easy on you. If you're easy on yourself, life will be hard on you. So if you're hard on yourself, life is easy. If you're easy on yourself, life will be hard. You got to be, you understand, people get involved in Riman, they go, oh, I don't have a boss. Yeah, you do. You do have a boss. It's called you. What kind of a boss are you? I'm my own boss. And I'm the meanest boss there is to myself, right? It's like, go, 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 go. Don't stop. And the reason being is I want to set the pace for you. I want to show you how to do it. So I'm always running. I'm giving it everything that I got. And I don't give myself, I mean, literally, I don't give myself even breaks. I mean, I'm just running, right? So I tell you this because you want to be the pace setter of your organization. And I'm talking about director right now. And I know some of you are like, dude, I'm not even a manager. This is like a strong conversation. Hey, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I was going to make this just for team leaders. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm going to open it up to everybody because there's going to be a couple diamonds in the rough, right? There's going to be a couple people whose heart's on fire that want to become wealthy. That's the person I'm talking to right now. They're like, how does it go? Like, and I'm giving you guys an inside view. So you want to create a culture in your organization. This is how you produce massive volume. It's called to unlock the unilevel culture. It's called the unlock the unilevel culture. When you establish a culture in your organization where everybody's running to unlock the unilevel, step one, right? How do you do that? Start planners off with 1,000 SP or more. So when somebody gets started, if I get somebody started with 1,000 point package or higher, I'm going to make sure they get their 10 lifetime customers ASAP to do what? What the heck? You understand? Is right? I don't know why I put the right way, not their dogs. The right way. That is a great one, Tim. I don't even know what you were trying to do there, but right away, the right way, not the wrong way. Okay, you got to make sure. What is Timmer doing? Start. Oh, you know what it was? Probably spell checked. I wasn't even close, so it just gave it to dogs. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, oh my God. Start your planners off with 1,000 or more SP. Number two, make sure everyone gets their 10 lifetime customers. So you want to get it the right way. You want to start everybody the right way. So right when they get started, you want to make sure right when they get started that you have them get their 10 customers. Okay. The right way. Oh, no, I did meant to put their dogs. Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm totally now remembering what I put when I put it. Yeah, the right way, meaning don't sign their dogs up as customers. Do you guys see that? If somebody's like, get your 10 lifetime customers, sign up your dog, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No. That's not the right culture. You're creating a devastating culture. You basically are injecting yourself with some type of a cancer situation. You understand? You want to teach people how to get the right customers. Like when I get a lifetime customer, I'm just calling up people and saying, hey, do me a favor. I've got to get 10 of these customers and I'm going to get a pay increase at my job. I'm going to make double the money I'm making or in my business. Do me a favor. It's free to sign up. All I need is your name and your email. Can I sign you up as a customer? You don't even have to buy anything. Just do me a favor and help me out. And you can find 10 people to say, yeah, I'll help you out. Like you should be able to get 10 lifetime customers the day you get started. Now, if somebody gets started and they say they get 300 SP, so I get started and I buy a 300 point package, still have them get their 10 lifetime customers. Why? Because it's going to give them more incentive to do what? They're out there doing something. And then we're like, man, now we got to get you your 1,000 in personal SP so you unlock your unilevel. So when you're getting people to unlock their unilevel, it's 1,000 in personal SP and 10 lifetime customers. 10 lifetime customers, okay? Now, obviously, we want to sell products to people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to have a bunch of free customers, but you want to get your 10 out of the way right away. Now, if somebody buys, it still counts, obviously, as a lifetime customer, but I got to get my lifetime customers right when I join, right? Number 3 is what? Track your team's personal SP weekly. So every week, you want to be looking at your team's SP and letting them know, hey, you're doing a great job. We're going to wrap up your 1,000 SP no matter what. We're going to get you to, basically, we're going to get you unlock your unilevel this month no matter what. And you start creating that culture of everybody unlocking their unilevel. Let me give you an example of what happens, right? If you have 20 people unlock their unilevel, that's 20,000 in SP. If you have 100 people unlock their unilevel, that's 100,000 in SP. If you have 1,000 people unlock their unilevel, that's 1,000,000 in SP. Like for me, people always ask me, it's like, Tim, why are you so serious at the end of the month, making sure everybody gets unlocks their unilevel? Because I want to help that person create a culture. If they do it that 1 month, they're going to do it the second month. But if they don't do it that month, they're not going to do it the second month. And if they create a culture, once they have 20 people on their team, they're going to be doing 20,000 in SP just off that portion of the comp plan. You understand? Like the 1,000 in SP is the best thing that ever happened in Riman. Best thing that ever happened. Why? When you have an army of people, you want everybody having an incentive to do stuff. Right? You don't want people like, hey, I joined Riman and I'm not doing anything. Well, if you go get 1,000 in personal SP, why would you want to do that? Number 1, you make more money on the override. Number 2, what happens? What happens? More importantly, you're making money off those customers. If you're a senior manager, you're pulling 30% of the BP. If you're a team leader, you're pulling 40%. We always want to be getting customers. We want to always be getting customers because we make a lot of what? Money, right? It's no brainer. So the director strategy, okay. You want to create I'm giving you guys the incentives, how you create massive volume right now. It's called creating a culture of pay period deadline. It's a deadline frenzy, okay? So at the end of the month, we have something called the pay period deadline. Number 1 thing is get planners running to become an SM, right, senior manager before the last 72 hours of the month, not by the end of the month. Listen to me very carefully and I'll explain why. If somebody's running for a senior manager and they hit senior manager 72 hours before the end of the month, on that last 72 hours, whenever all that volume's going through in the frenzy, what's happening? They're getting senior manager pay on it. So you got to realize if you get everybody running for senior manager right now, hitting senior manager right now, okay, if they hit senior manager like before the last 72 hours of the month, they're going to get paid on all that. And now you're creating a double impending event. Impending events are what drive people to have massive amounts of success. Learning how to buy into impending events and promote impending events. I'm the biggest impending event promoter because I was taught at a very early on in my career that impending events are how you drive massive amounts of momentum. A series of impending events is how you create momentum. So you want to learn to promote impending events. Buy in and whip yourself into a frenzy, okay? Know all the end of the month impending events. Now, this Sunday, we have a major impending event in North America. What? The convention packs come to an end. What else do we have? Right? What else do we have? The discount on the national, right? The convention. So the Las Vegas convention, $7.99 for 10-pack or what, $99 for 1 ticket. Or I'm going to show you guys that in a second. But that's a major impending event. The discount that we gave, they open it up until Sunday too. So we got a discount on that. You want to make sure you're getting everybody to take advantage of that, right? So let's talk about the impending events. Ones that are happening right now. Obviously, we know the convention packs this Sunday at 11:59 Pacific, right? Think about it like this. At midnight, your carriage turns into a pumpkin. Do you guys see what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about? That's Cinderella. Remember Cinderella? Cinderella's pumpkin. The mole. Okay, never mind. All right. Anyways, I thought that was good. But here we go. Second thing is early bird registration in Sunday at 11:59, the major discount on tickets. Okay. Those are 2 major impending events that are happening this Sunday. How urgent are you? Because without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. You already know I'm getting a bunch more convention packs. Why? Because I want to get my 1,000 in SP this month done right now. How I'm going to do it? Get a bunch of products and just get them on people's faces. You see how smart that is? Now, the third impending event is what? 30 days to upgrade. How many days do you have to upgrade? 30 days. So if somebody gets started, they can buy a kit for the first 30 days. So you want to be watching people's 30-day deadlines and making sure you're upgrading everybody. Upgrade before their 30-day deadline comes in. Now, 3 to 5 active customers. This is for managers and higher, right? We want to make sure that everybody's getting their what? 3 to 5 active customers for the month, right? Number 5 is what? Making sure they get their unilevel, personal 1,000 SP, and their 10 lifetime customers, right? We got to make sure that's all happening. Mainly people that are buying 1,000-point sets, make sure they get their 10 lifetime customers right away. Why? Because so they can double their money, right? When they recruit somebody, they're going to make 10% instead of 5%. Hello. Big one is what? What's happening this month? The 3-month deadline. What does that mean? All the planners that join in January, their 90-day or their 3 months is what? The end of this month. So everybody's going to be running to get to senior manager that joined in January. Now, people that had joined before January that aren't senior manager, whatever volume they had in January, it's going to fall off come April 1st, right? Because it's a rolling 3 months. So you want to make sure there's a sense of urgency, because without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. Now, everybody from November was an incredible month of volume, right? So the last time to take advantage of that big giant month of volume, which is the Black Friday month that we had, all that volume is gonna roll off come April 1st. So to make sure that they do what? Take advantage of that volume, we got to get them to team leader by what? This month. So you need to know who in your organization is running for team leader. Now, if it's just you got to be running, right? So you need to be aware of what's happening. When you get somebody started, like we're going to the top, right? You got to speak into people. You got to get people like confident. Retail bonuses, 2,000, 4,000 comes to an end, right? Meaning that every month, anybody that has 2,000 in personal SP unlocks that extra 5%, 4,000. You guys know how that works. Monthly maintenance for team leaders and higher, 10,000 for what? Team leaders, 100,000 for obviously what? Directors, right? I love that. Why? Because you want to get people producing massive results. You got to realize that you can do it. You can make it happen. You can do massive amounts of business, but you first got to convince yourself that you can, okay? And every 10,000 in points is another what? As a team leader is another 40 travel points. So anybody that's close, that's at like, maybe they're at, like I said, like 4,800 or 48,000. If they're at 48,000, we got to get that extra 2,000 and get them to 50 so they can unlock another 40 travel points. So impending events are what drive behavior. If you're taking notes, okay, let's go through this. Man, I'm getting pumped up, man. Okay, here we go. I got to wrap this training up here, so I got to go through this fast. Okay, create a culture of registering your new planners ASAP and recognizing those that are going to Vegas, right? When you're on a call with your team or you're talking to your team, give people recognition for registering for Vegas, right? They're committed for Vegas. They're committed to Vegas. They're committed to Vegas. Every time you talk to people, they're committed to Vegas. If I'm doing a 3-way call with somebody, man, I can't wait to hang out with you in Vegas. We're going to have so much fun in Vegas, right? I'm already saying that. Their guest is thinking, what? What's Vegas? Oh, man, we're going to have a big convention coming up. We're going to have so much fun in August. It's going to be unbelievable. But anyways, let me, and then I'll get into it. I'm planting seeds all the time, but you want to get committing for the convention ASAP, get your new people. So when a brand new person signs, getting them committed to convention, right? That means that they see themselves being in the business. You understand? 5 months from now. If you don't get people committed to the conference and they're like, well, if I take it seriously, I'm going to do it. It's like, whoa, like I can't invest time with that person. You understand? If they're not going to, if they don't see themselves being in the business 5 months from now, why in the world would I want to invest any time with them? Right? If they're not committed to themselves, I told last night in the group at the Riman University, I said, bottom line is this, right? You've got to believe that you can do it. You got to believe that you can make it happen. And you got to decide that, hey, I'm going to throw my hat over the wall and go get it. Like you got to be committed to the convention. And then other people will want to follow you. But nobody wants to follow somebody that's not committed. People can't follow in people's footsteps if their feet aren't moving, right? So every time they hear about convention, since they're registered, they're going to get more and more excited. Build your business around running from convention. And once again, I spelled convention wrong on that second time. Convention, okay? Convention to convention. You want to be running convention to convention, okay? Meaning what? Every convention, you want to just be running convention to convention. and getting everybody that was at the last convention registered for the next one, and all of your new planners that sign up between now and then register for the convention. And I got a backbone, not a wishbone. I'll tell somebody if they're like, I don't know if I want to go to Vegas. I'll be like, maybe this business isn't for you. Maybe you should just be a customer. You guys catch that? I'm not scared to tell people what they need to hear. Some of you, that would be tough to tell somebody, man, you should probably be a customer if you're not going to be in Vegas. You're like, oh my God, Tim. Why not tell them the truth? Why not tell them the truth? Right? Because I want them to make money. You understand? I want them to become wealthy with me. And how do we do that? We got to make a commitment, right? So they want to build, you want to be building, obviously. And then when they commit right away, when they get their brand new people started, what are they going to be doing? They're going to be registering them as well. So they can all have their buddies go all in with them in what? Vegas. You got to be understanding the fact that building up for Vegas is everything. It goes. That's how you do massive amounts of volume. Okay. Let's talk about director habits real quickly. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. Warren Buffett said that. That's badass. Woo! That's fire. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. How powerful is that? Your habits are what's going to make you or break you, right? So when you're driving, you always want to have and once you hit director, anytime basically, you always want to be building a few new projects, right? You want to have new projects that you're developing, right? Think of it like a real estate, like you're a project developer, right? You got a new project that you're working on, that you're developing. That's a person in our business, right? Always have a new leader that you're developing, right? Always be recruiting new people, right? It's either 20-80 or 80-20. If your organization isn't growing like wildfire through a dry brush field, then guess what? 80% of your time should be recruiting and 20% of your time should be a drive in depth, build team building, right? If your organization's on absolute fire and it's replicating like crazy, then guess what? 20% of your time recruiting, 80% of your time driving depth and working with all your brand new people and getting them to senior manager. But it's always 20-80 or 80-20 depending on your volume, right? If your volume is growing, boom. It's either you're one of the two directions, but do everything right with them. Right? Do everything right with your brand new people so that duplicates. Okay? You want to get results fast for your new people, right? You want to drive and duplicate depth, right? Visualize all your people becoming successful. Imagine them in your mind's eye winning big. Okay? Always recognize little steps of progress. That's the biggest thing. And I like to use other people. I mean, oh my God, this guy's on fire. I'll send a message to Chris. I'm like, Chris, so-and-so just did this. It's over the top. They're on fire, right? Or I'll send a message to Danny Bay and I'll be like, Danny, and I'll just get excited. Just get excited about your people, right? I just got this new person started, Danny. This person's going to blow up, man. I'm so fired up for them. And I just get excited about your people. Get excited. Like when a baby takes his first steps, everybody gets fired up. You want to be fired up about your people's success, okay? Tell, show, try, do. Tell them how to do it. Show them how to do it. Let them try it, and then they know how to do it, okay? So first step, how good are you at connection calls and helping people get plugged into the orientation and make a list? Rate yourself on that. How many people that get started on your team are making a list of 100? Some of you don't even know. You're like, I don't know. That's not a good answer. Okay. You want to make sure you're helping everybody. Last night at the training, we had everybody make a list on the spot and we gave out a free boo, right? So everybody was making lists. So get them connection call, welcome calls, right? Orientation, get them connected at the beginning and to get them off to a fast start. Launch meeting, right? Meaning when they first get started, put together a launch meeting of their top people. It might be 2 or 3 people, might be one person. It doesn't matter. Get some people on a Zoom or get them in a living room on a pop-up. You want to do that 24 to 48 hours if you want to get them on the fast track. Action immediately. Look, if somebody's like, I'm going to do a pop-up next week. Listen to me. This is what I do, man. I say, don't call people until 24 hours, 48 hours before, because you want to have urgency. You understand? Like I call people, whatever you got going on, you got to come over here and cancel it. And I know that's not everybody does it that way. I do it that way because if I call somebody a week out, whenever they get started, they're going to call people a week out. And then they're going to call their people a week out and you're going to have a bunch of weak people. But if you have instant right now, urgency, I got to get together with you next 24 to 48 hours. I just found something I'm so fired up about. You're going to fall in love with it. When can we meet? What is it? Well, if I can tell you over the phone, I would. We got to get together right now. I'm urgent, right? And I get together with people fast. Attack. You want to attack and attract. Some people just do attraction marketing. You got to do attack. You're saying you're going to get, when you do attraction only, you're going to get the low hanging fruit, but the big players, you got to talk to them, man. You got to invite them. It's kind of like You know what I mean? Like if like that's how you get the bigger fish, right? That's how you get the people that you want. Don't wait for them to call you. Reach out and call them, right? Attack, right? Get after it. Pre-talk, inform, find out their hot buttons, right? We teach on that. Pre-talk, know their hot buttons before we expose them to the business. Show them a pop-up or a Zoom. Obviously, overcome any objections they have. Enroll them, receive payment, promote the daily Zooms. Very important the first 4 weeks, and then create them to senior manager and duplicate. And this is basically, you look at these 8 steps and you ask yourself, where do you need more? Where do you need to focus in on? Where do you need to get better at? Because if you're good at all these 9 steps, not 8, but 9 steps, your organization will perpetuate. It will grow like wildfire through a dry brush field. Okay. So here's what I want to show you. The key is you've got to have confidence. You have to believe without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that you're going director, no matter what. And to me, when you launch a brand new person and you have that confidence that they're going to make it happen because you know how to do it, it's like walking across a 2x4. And if the 2x4 is just a 1 foot off the ground, anybody will just walk across it. Boom, no problem. But if that 2x4 is 20 stories up in the air, nobody wants to walk across it. Why? Because they are like, oh my God, if I fall, guess what? You know what I mean? I'm going to go splat, right? So the difference is you've got to have confidence. The difference between 20 stories and 1 foot is you know that you're going to make it happen. You know that they're going to make it happen. I know that I can get somebody to where they want to go. I know that. You understand? I know that. You got to know no matter what, you work with me, you're going to the top, right? So we got to get everybody to this convention. This is how we're going to duplicate and grow massive leaders, okay? If do not have your tickets yet for the convention, oh my goodness, how are you talking to people about this business? Like you gotta be in. All in, and people are going to be attracted to you because they know that you know where you're going. People want to follow in your footsteps if your feet are moving, right? If you're committed to the convention, people will follow you. So understand this promotion. Now, that is the right QR code. So if you don't have that QR code right now, take a picture of it. I just got that QR code right now because I'm like, wait a second, this old QR code didn't work. So corporate just sent me that QR code and I uploaded it. But understand right now, between now and Sunday, it's only $99 for one single ticket. Okay. Now, if your upline team leader or director might have extra tickets that you could buy in a 10-ticket bundle for $79. But probably if you bought a 10-ticket bundle, you probably already sold all your tickets. Okay. You probably already sold all your tickets. But the 10-ticket bundle for $7.99 is going to end on this Sunday at 11:59 Pacific. Okay. So convention packs coming into an end this Sunday. Registration tickets coming to an end this Sunday. You want to make sure no matter what that you get your tickets for the convention today. Get committed, okay? Make a commitment because without a commitment, right, without a true commitment, you're not going to get anywhere. Like you got to get committed, okay? You got to make a commitment no matter what that you're going to the top. You can't be involved. You got to be committed, right? Think about breakfast, okay? Think about breakfast. The chicken that laid the egg, they were involved. The bacon, the pig got committed. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to make a commitment, right? I made a commitment. I know that people are not going to want to follow me if I'm a weak leader. That if I'm like, I'm going to try to make it to the event. I'm going to try to play together. It's like no matter what, over, under, through, I'm going to go. So you got to get your Vegas tickets now, right? Even if it's only one, don't feel bad about it. Get one ticket. Make sure you're going, right? Just get it, right? Make sure everyone gets their convention sets before Sunday. You got to make sure they get their convention packs, right? Make sure they get it. Like mainly a brand new person gets started, right? I had a brand new person started. I'm like, look, let's get you four of the convention packs right now of the 1500s. Make you a senior manager overnight. You're going to get an extra dang near $2,000 worth of free product. Plus you're going to get a 20% rebate. It's a no brainer. You know what I mean? So what I'm telling you is that have a backbone, not a wishbone, right? Don't be afraid. Believe in what you're doing and you got to run for the next rank. You got to be running right now. I'm telling you right now, you want to make a decision in your mind right now that says, I'm going to the top, over, under, through, that I'm going to make it happen, that I'm going to be a success, that I'm going to win big. And I'm going to wrap this thing up here right now by talking about something I love talking about. Okay? Man, get ready to get fired up. Woo! I'm pumped. Hey, you got to be thinking director, right? All the time, right? You wake up in the morning, you got to have a singleness of purpose, man. You got to believe no matter what, hey, I'm going to win. Look at my new sets. They just came in today. Look at what I got. You want to look inside one of these real quickly? This is why you got to get them. Look how sexy these are. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Look at this guy. What? Are you kidding me? Look at this little guy. I love him. That's my little baby. I got a little baby. Look at my new babies. Look at how, let me show you how sexy they are. Oh, boy, I got to do this before I wrap this thing up. This is our old serum. Good Lord, from our old one. Can you, people are like, why are you so jacked about those? What? Look at the difference. Look at this. What? What? Look at this one. Look at this little ghetto booster. And I thought this was rad. I thought this was awesome. And then this guy came on the scene. I'm like, what? I'm going to get myself some of this. Little baby one. Oh, baby. That's my little baby right here. Oh, yeah. But look at the, what? All right, man. That's called ADD right there. All right. Here we go. You got to be thinking like no matter what, guess what? I'm going to the top, over, under, through. I'm going to become a director no matter what. And you got to focus in on it. You got to be thinking director, 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 right? This is how we do it, right? When I got started, it was like, boom, we're going to the top, man. First thing in the morning, alarm clock goes off, right? You guys know what my alarm is? It was director, 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 right? Now it's a round of applause. Get up. Yeah, he's awake. Wake up. Guess what I'm thinking, right? When I get started in the morning, right? Right when I first wake up, right when we got started in Riman, it's director, director, director. Turning on the shower, because I don't do anything until I take a shower. I'm a big shower guy. Turn on the shower. Guess what I'm thinking? Director, director, director. Waiting for that bad boy to warm up. I put on the oil cleanser, thinking director, director, director. Get my towel out, get my clothes ready. Before I jump in the shower, guess what I'm thinking? Director, director, director. Get in there, doing my hair. Guess what I'm thinking? Director, director, director. Got my then I'm putting my water treatment in. Hello, director, director, director. Do you guys see what I'm thinking? Go downstairs, make a cup of coffee. Guess what I'm thinking? Director, director, director. Got to go wake up the kids. Got to get them ready for school. What am I thinking? Director, director, director. Right? Taking the kids to school. Right? I'm driving to school, taking my son to school, because when I first joined Riman, he didn't drive yet. And guess what I'm thinking? Director, director, director. Drop him off to school, turn him back home, thinking director, director, director. Get home, I'm going to make myself a little breakfast. If my wife didn't, she might be making something. If it is, I'm going to enjoy what she's doing. If not, I'm going to make me something. Turn on the stove, and guess what I'm thinking? Director, director, director. Making some phone calls, thinking director, director, director. I'm looking at my list, thinking director, director, director. Jumping on Zooms, thinking director, director, director. Talking to people all day long, thinking director, director, director. Now it's time to eat. Forgot to eat. Boom, boom, boom. I'm eating, thinking director, director, director. All day long, I'm thinking director, 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 man. It's time to turn it down. Time to go to bed. I lay down in bed, trying to get a little kissy time from my wife. See if she's interested. I'm thinking director, director, director. But I'm telling you, you got to be thinking director, director, director all day long. Going to the bathroom, thinking director, director, director. I mean, I'm thinking about director, director, director all day long. You got to be, it's got to become an all-consuming obsession. You got to put your blinders on, right? And you got to decide right now that I'm going to the top, man. I'm going to make it happen, that I'm going to win. I'm going to be a success. I'm going to be a director. Now, if you're going director, my goal is to get a minimum of 10 new directors. Minimum 10 new directors. I know Fernando is down. 10 new directors by convention, right? 10 new directors by convention that are going to walk the stage at convention. Because I know I saw some names on here. I saw Jerson on here earlier, and he's like, dude, I'm going to be one. I know you're going to be the first one in the Philippines from our group, most likely, unless somebody else decides to just get on your level. You understand what I'm saying? I know Kenny Tay in Asia is going to wrap it up. There's a lot of leaders in Asia that are going to do it. But I need to get the people on the stage here too, right? We got to have the people at the convention in Macau, obviously, but I got to get 10 for Vegas. So I'm looking for 10 leaders. I'm looking for 10 runners. I'm looking for 10 people to raise their hand and say, man, it's me. And I'm going to show you because I'm serious about making it happen. Over, under, through, man. I'm ready to win. I'm ready to become a success. Over, under, through, man. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to lead by example, right? I'm going to talk to more people than anybody else, man. I'm running. This is my time. This is my chance. It's time right now. Make a commitment in your mind. Make a commitment in your heart. All in, all out, massive action. Let's lock arms. Next Friday, I'm doing mindset. You can't miss that one. We're going to make it happen together. Thank you guys for your time. Let's go all out massive action. Let's make it happen. God bless you guys. We're going to see each and every one of you at the top. Let's make it happen, everybody. Let's go to the top.